We all know the story. He used to give preference to the Prophet ﷺ over everything. He loved the Prophet ﷺ more than he loved his own children. He used to defend the Prophet ﷺ. He even loved Islam, the deen of Islam. He even loved it, the deen that the Prophet ﷺ was calling people to embrace. Abu Talib, he loved that deen of Islam. So that's why when he was on the sick bed, the Prophet ﷺ tried his best to make sure that he accepts Islam. قُلْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So all I need from you is to say, La ilaha illallah. None has the right to be worshipped except Allah. Just say that. Kalimatan uhajju laka biha inda Allah. That's all I need. You just say it and leave the rest for me. I know how to deal with it in front of my Rabb. And there were two men. They are the head of Kufr, Abu Lahab and Abdullah ibn Abi Umayyah. So they were with him, urging Abu Talib not to accept Islam and that he should die on millah of his forefathers, the millah of Abdul Muttalib. So are you going to renounce the millah of Abdul Muttalib? So you have to die upon it, as your forefathers died upon that millah. And the Prophet was playing his own role as well. Just say La ilaha illallah. So look at all efforts he made to protect the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this hidayah is mulk of Allah. Quran was revealed regarding this, saying, "Innaka la tahdi man ahbabt, walakin Allah yahdi man yasha." You cannot guide whom you will. You cannot. But it is Allah who can guide. Yahdi man yasha. He guides whomever He wills. So in another surah, Quran confirmed that wa innaka la tahdi ila siratin mustaqim. Definitely, you do guide to the straight path, but the guidance there is hidayah to al-irshad. And just guide people, just call them. But the tawfiq one, innaka la tahdi man ahbabt. Eventually, he said, min jinsil amal. They said that, how can I put that? The reward will depend on the type of the deed. So al-akhbatu ala sirat wal-akhbatu ala sirat. This right path, so the more you are found on it, the more you will be found on as-sirat, the bridge that will be laid on the hellfire on the day of resurrection. So on this path, the path of Islam, that we ask Allah to guide us, and if we make it perfect, so it will be easy for us to pass through that bridge that will be on the top of Jahannam. So according to the scholar. So this is how important is the topic. So it will also help us and to preserve this name of Allah, to love the ulama, the knowledgeable persons, to the scholars of Islam, and to always be their friends, always be with them. So this one will help. Also, mujalasatu salihin wal akhyar, apart from the scholars. So any pious and good Muslim should be our friend that we move around with. So if any one of us asks anyone who is wrongly guided, so why did this happen to you? So many people will say that, so through those I move around with. فَالْقَرِينُ إِنَّ الْقَرِينَ بِالْقَرِينِ يَقْتَدِي. So one always copies and who is moving around with. So we need to choose very good companions. So this is one of the matters that help to have more iman and to stay firmly on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So also طلب العلم الشرعي, to seek knowledge. So we need to seek Islamic knowledge. So any knowledge that we might have sought in this life is for this life. So it is compulsory for every one of us to know what is enough, to seek for what is enough in the Islamic knowledge, so for his life and for the hereafter. So we need to know about our Quran, we need to know about how to do acts of worship in the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands. So according to the Sunnah, according to everything. So without knowledge, so we cannot do this. And if we cannot do this, definitely, so one will be driving gradually away from the right path. So it is very important that ourselves and our children, those that we control, so we let them know what is enough in the Islamic knowledge. This is very important. Also, al-istijaba, idai al-kitab wa sunnah. Whatever Al-Quran says and the Sunnah recommends, we should try our best and to make sure that we accept it and we put them into the practice. So this also helps one to maintain and is iman, is biggest ni'mah of Allah. Also, murawadatul masajid, to make the mosque as our second home. Whether you like it or not, your iman will be increased if you find yourself always in the mosque. So they will make adhan, you will reply, you will respond to it. So you have time to do nafila before the commencement of the salah. So you have the time to take Al-Quran and recite all this. Something that you might not be able and to do if you are somewhere else. So we should always take the mosque as our second home. So al-masjid baytun li kulli taqi. So the mosque is a house for every pious person. So this is what one of the matters that help us to maintain this tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So also qira'at al-Quran al-Kareem, so recitation of the Quran, especially during the night time. So this also help us and to have more iman and to keep this blessing, greatest blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So Quran itself is a guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I will mention as last of them, al-bu'd al-maharim. So to try our best to do away from al-maharim, from all forbidding and action or utterance. So from here, and many people lost and the value of their iman. So we should try our best not to be involved in maharim, anything haram that has to do with knowledge. without knowledge you might not know what is haram. So, but in al haram bayin, some acts of haram are clear. Every one of us know them. So we should try our best to do away from them, especially ittiba'ul hawa. Ittiba'ul hawa, to always go with your own discretion, to go with what you desire, what your nafs wants to do. There was a man in the lifetime of Umar who wasn't a Muslim. Somebody narrated the story for me. He said he could tell everything that's happening behind the mountain. So Allah has made it easy for him to discover everything. It's like he knows in a ghaib. And when he was consulted, what did you do to be in this position? So he replied that I always go against my nafs. So if you ask me to do anything, I will go against. I will do the otherwise. And as it is said, Khalif nafsak testeri. Try your best not to respond to what your nafs, your soul, and is dictating for you. Then you will relax. So Umar heard of him, and he sent for him, and he came, and Umar he urged him to embrace Islam, and he did not, because he wasn't a Muslim. So and he left. So after some while, he came back to Umar saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then Umar said, why did you, and not Umar, people around him said, why did you now come to accept Islam? And he said, that particular Islam, so I talked to my nafs about it, and he said no. And I said, I have to accept Islam. That's what I came. And Umar said, I knew that he was going to come to accept Islam. So itiba'ul hawa, so that's the most problem, to go with al-mail al-hawa, to go with your nafs discretion. So also ashubuhat, anything that can cause doubts in our faith, like those who are propagating that there is no God, all these on TV. So we need to do away from them. So in order not to affect our iman, so or shahawat or any other desires. So any other desires, anything that is not in accordance with the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should try our best and to do away from them. So if we could do away from al-maharim, inshallah our iman will be safe. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let this that we've listened to be beneficial to all of us. وجزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين.